Hello everyone, it's Lisa Turner here from Psycademy, and today here's what my guides wanted you to know about. So this is kind of a big topic, and it's a bit like there's a lot to it. So so if you have any questions, pop them in the questiony thingy. And if you have a particular topic that you would love for me to talk about, or a question for my guides that's not just pop it in, and I'll either do it in this, I'll either answer it now, or we'll answer it in a future broadcast. So, knowing your own mind, what comes after getting downloads, and are you in control or are you being controlled? So I've just come off a webinar with my amazing spiritual practitioners and my initiates, where we were talking about how we create our world, our reality, via our beliefs. So what happens is, and a lot of people think they understand about beliefs. It's like, okay, it's really clear when, often it's really clear when you have a limiting belief. And so a limiting belief is any belief that you hold that stops you being, doing, and having what you want to be, do, and have. Okay, so if you believe something, and through that belief, it will stop you being, doing, and having what you want to be, do, and have, then it's limiting. Now, the problem with this is that there's a big difference between what you consciously think and what you unconsciously believe. Because here's the thing, it's like, you might consciously think, I'm a great person, I'm a good person, I'm valuable, I'm worthwhile, and I'm loved, and yet you might be doing money problems or relationship problems or attracting people into your life that treat you really badly. And you might be saying to yourself, I mean, maybe you can relate to this. Have you been saying to yourself, like, I just don't get it. Why is it when I do all the right things, I say all the right things, but I don't get the job, I don't get the guy, I don't get the girl, I get treated really badly, even though I'm doing all the right things? What's going on? The chances are that you have running unconsciously out of your awareness. And the thing is, it will be out of your awareness, so you won't know that you have it or what it is. And it'll be some kind of limiting belief. Now, I have no idea what it might be, and that's one of the things that we teach our spiritual practitioners to find for people, to find those unconscious beliefs and then release them. But here's the clue. A lot of people think they know their own mind. A lot of people think that they believe things that are powerful and empowering, but they still don't get the results. Now, either they don't get the results because they're not taking the action. And often they don't take the action because they don't believe that it's going to get them the results, so they don't bother. It's like, if you believe the economy is terrible because of Brexit, so there's no point doing any sales, no one's going to buy anything, how motivated are you going to be to do sales? Not very motivated, so you won't do the sales, so you won't get the sales, and then you can thus prove yourself absolutely right. Now, that's the kind of, maybe slightly more scientific or kind of sort of accepted in personal development fields way that beliefs work, that beliefs will stop us doing the behavior that will get us the results. So that's the doing part of the be, do, have. But here's the other part, here's my take on it, and here's what my guides really wanted you to know today. One of the pieces they wanted you to know, which is this. You may be thinking all the right thoughts and thinking the positive thoughts consciously, but unconsciously, if you hold a limiting belief, like nobody will want my service, I'm not really a good person, whatever it is. And the thing is, you won't know what that is, but whatever that belief is, that will radiate out and have people respond to you emotionally and energetically in a way and that's the question to ask yourself. That's the thing. It's like, if you're not getting what you want, if you're not getting the results you want, even though you're doing all the right things, then start asking the question, what could be going on? Do I have a limiting belief? Now, if you do, great, get in touch with us. We have, or get in touch with one of our certified spiritual practitioners come on the spiritual practitioner training, even better, because that's how we can find those limiting beliefs and then release them. Now, I had an email just the other day, and we just did a little, it was just a little, we put out a video that explained how we read the tarot, which is completely different. That's a topic for a whole nother video if we wanted to go there. But we had lots of people come back and say they couldn't afford it. Now, you might be saying, well, that's the reality. And if you're the sort of person who has that, like there's something you want, but you don't seem to have the money in your bank account, that's the reality. That's the effect. But the cause of that might be like, I can't make money. I'm not a good person. The economy is bad, or whatever your belief is. And that will radiate out and cause people and the universe to reflect that back to you. Now, I had one that I think this is probably one of the most limiting beliefs and I've heard other people. It's not that I've ever heard, because I've heard it before. So somebody emailed me and they said, I'd love to do the course, but I just can't. And some things just can't be changed no matter how much we wish they could. And the thing is, wishing doesn't change a belief. But probably the most limiting belief that you could have is things can't be changed, because like I am walking example of things changing all the time, and all my clients and my spiritual practitioner graduates and our initiates, they change the world, and they change the world by changing their beliefs, changing their thoughts, changing their words, and then changing their actions. And that changes the world, right? So thinking things can't be changed, that's a sign that you've got a limiting belief. So first, my invitation to you is to notice what's going on in your universe. And if you're not getting the results that you want, just consider that that might be because you've got a limiting belief, and it might be way out of your conscious awareness. Okay? So that's the first thing my guides wanted you to know. The other thing my guides wanted to share with you is this idea of I kind of channeled this on my recent webinar, and I thought it was so important. I thought I would share it with you guys as well. And it's this. So we're coming to a time where there are going to be almost two separate groups of people. There are those who are in control and those who are being controlled. And the thing that will be really difficult to notice is to be able to identify which is which. You may think, oh, it's really obvious. It's the people in power. They're the ones controlling the people who don't have power, or whatever. The politicians control the people. People with money control the people without money, or whatever it is. Now, that might be true to a certain extent. But what my guides wanted you to know is that this is also happening at the level of the collective unconscious, that there is a programming, just as you have programming in your individual unconscious mind that will create your reality, there is programming in the collective unconscious. And, we all have this idea that we get downloads from source, which is great. But what's even better than downloads? What if you could upload into the collective unconscious? What if you could upload thoughts, empowering beliefs, the eradication of disempowerment into the collective unconscious? What if you could do that? Well, I'm going to suggest to you and invite you to start thinking that might absolutely be possible. I've just been going through a series of initiations, and I'm going to be taking my initiates, those on my initiation program, through these initiations ultimately that will show them and enable them to do uploading, not just getting downloads. Like everyone goes, oh, I want downloads. I want to get the downloads from my spirit guides. I want to know the guidance of what I should do and how I should do it and what's the best way. That's great. That's all great. But what's even better than downloads? Uploads to the collective unconscious. Now, I hope you understand the importance of this. I hope you really understand what it is I'm really saying about this, that this is how we change the planet. Like, do you think that the planet would be different if we could upload different beliefs to the collective unconscious? Do you think we could have better schools, fewer wars? Do you think we'd have a more loving, kind, compassionate, caring society and planet if we were uploading that to the collective unconscious? And here's the thing that my guides also wanted you to know, that right now you are being influenced by the collective unconscious. We're all getting downloads all the time. Now you're being influenced externally by what you see on the news and the media and stuff. And you may go, oh, I don't watch the news because that's all full of bad stuff. No. That's not the way to do it. What you do is the only reason you get triggered by that bad stuff is because unconsciously there's some limiting belief or negative emotion that needs releasing that gets triggered by that. So the thing to do is release that so that you can watch the news and go, okay, that's some bad stuff. Let's do an upload to start changing that. Or let's take some action to start changing that. Or even better, let's do both. Let's take some action and inspire others to take action. And let's do some uploading so this changes. Now, uploading does happen, but it happens very slowly. You know, I'm a firm believer that like what happens, you know, almost there's metaphors are everywhere. Basically, metaphors are everywhere. And I started to get this idea, and I checked in with my guides and asked them about it when I was talking to someone, and they were like on a webinar call, and they said, I can hear you perfectly, but I couldn't hear them at all. And I said, yeah, I could hear them a bit, enough for them to tell me that enough. Anyway, so what I said to them is, I could hear them enough for them to say, I can hear you perfectly. And, but I just, like every other syllable was cutting out. And so I said, yeah, that's because on the web, most devices, the download speed is faster than the upload speed. So the download bandwidth is bigger than the upload bandwidth. So you are getting more downloads than you are able to influence uploading. And that's what we're doing in initiation. We're starting to bring that into balance. Now, the only way we can do this in initiation, so those of you who are my initiates, this is for you guys. The only way you can do this is if you need to take such huge responsibility, because if you're going to upload stuff to the collective unconscious, that needs to be like the highest quality thoughts, quality thoughts, not low quality thoughts. So the first thing is, and that's, you know, and those of you who are on my initiation program, we're already doing this, or you've already done this, learning how to control your thoughts so that you know that what you're uploading, including controlling your unconscious thoughts. How do you control your unconscious thoughts? You reprogram your mind using the spiritual technology that we teach on Spirit Prac. So downloads and uploads. And how do you know if you're in control or if you're being controlled? And the answer is, do you experience life as joyful? Do you experience yourself as being fully empowered? Do you experience yourself as getting what you want and not being in denial? Yeah, I get what I want because I have happy thoughts. I mean, do you really get what you want? Do you really, really? Are you living your true purpose? Do you know what it is? Are you able to influence the world so that you can create that which you desire? And I'm not talking about, getting the new car. I mean, if it is a new car, that's great. I'm talking about that and influencing the world, influencing the collective unconscious. That's how you know if you can influence others as well as yourself. If you find yourself attracting what you want, then you know that you've got it. Now, if you find yourself doing all the right things and getting the wrong results, if you find yourself experiencing illness and disease, if you find yourself manifesting people like bullying you, right? There's a good chance. Now, I'm not saying that it's not the bully's fault. Like, the bully shouldn't be doing the bullying, right? And the reason you're attracting bullies might be because you've got a little bully magnet stuck in your, on your head. Your unconscious mind is saying, yeah, this is a good person to bully. You can bully this person. So are you in control or are you being controlled? Do you really know what's in your unconscious mind? And the only way to know is, do you get the results that you want? Or do you come up with lots of explanations? Do you find yourself, notice the words that you say. Do you find yourself saying things like, it wasn't meant to be, or some things just can't be changed? By the way, it wasn't meant to be is actually, I actually think that's a really disempowering belief. Because who gets to decide what wasn't meant to be? It's my fish. Kiting Chicky Bangkok, my fish. He is the ruler of the universe who gets to decide what is and is not meant to be. I don't know if you can see Kiting at the moment. We call him Stephen for short. He's somewhere there. I can't see him. Oh my God, has he got out? Oh no, there he is. He's down the side. So he gets to decide what is and what isn't meant to be. Now, obviously, I'm saying that as a joke, right? Because that would be ludicrous that a small blue fish would get to decide what isn't meant to be. But when you say that, what you're saying is somebody other than me gets to decide what was and wasn't meant to be. You might really want to get something and have a particular experience, and you don't get it. And if you're saying to yourself, it wasn't meant to be, what you're saying is somebody other than me gets to choose what isn't meant to be. And that means you're not in control. You're being controlled. So choose it. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just go ping, I'm going to decide it is meant to be. That might mean you need to reprogram your mind, change some beliefs, try some other things, be experimental with your behavior, with your actions, become more resourceful and do a whole bunch of stuff, and, keep trying other things. If it's a job you're going for, doesn't mean you just keep applying for the same job. Apply for other jobs that are similar, or, find out what it was about the job that you really wanted. That'll exist somewhere else. Keep working towards it, because if you want it and you choose it and you're willing to do what it takes. One of my mentors said this once. He said, this is quite a confrontational statement, so hold on to your hats, sit down. You might want to be sitting down for this. So he said, the difference between winners and losers is losers are doing the best they can, whereas winners do whatever it takes. And really, that's a sign of, it brings it back to, are you choosing, or are you allowing somebody else to choose for you? Maybe that's a softer way of saying, are you in control, or is somebody else controlling for you? You get to choose. Are you choosing, or are you saying somebody else outside of me gets to choose whether or not I'm happy today? Okay. So you're going to choose happiness? You're going to choose what you want? You're going to choose to step into your power? You're going to choose to find and let go of those limiting beliefs? Are you going to choose it? Are you going to start observing your thoughts? We just were teaching meditation, and I sort of do a little bit of myth busting around meditation, which again is a whole other webinar that we could run. And it's kind of along the lines of one of the things that people think they're meditating when they're listening to a guided meditation. That's a sign that, see, if you're listening to a guided meditation, what's happening there is the meditation that you're listening to is controlling your mind. It's saying, okay, we're going to imagine we're by a waterfall. And it's like, you're not the one deciding to be by the waterfall. You're allowing those words to guide you. So instead, guide yourself. So practice. My first invitation is to practice a meditation technique that gets you in control of and observing, or actually the other way around, observing and then in control of your own thoughts. So mantra, and eyes closed is best. So mantra, following the breath, mindfulness, where you are observing and then controlling your thoughts. Don't do a guided meditation. Don't do a progressive relaxation. I mean, yeah, do those because they have value if you want to, but if you really want to start getting in control of your thoughts, the first thing you got to do is learn to observe them and know when they're out of control. Know when you're not influencing even your own mind, let alone the collective unconscious. Start by influencing your own mind. So if you have any questions, if you like it, hit the little likey button. If you think this is a powerful message that others should know about, do share this with others, or tag them in it. And if you have any questions, let me know. And if you're watching the replay, I will come back and do the typey thing to answer the questions. I'll stay over a second just chatting. Oh, Alexandra, I'm sorry that you've had flu. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, flu happens. And then we get over it. There's been a lot of that about, that Aussie flu. I have an Australian heritage. I grew up in Australia, but I don't think I'm responsible for the flu. Or maybe I am. Oh, how did I create that? Sorry, everyone. Sorry for creating the Aussie flu. Okay, no other questions coming in. Okay, so pop them in later. Like, love, share, post questions later. I will come back and answer them. Till next time, lots and lots of love. Bye for now. Bye, everyone.